Movie notes on City of God, 2002 film, 27 July 2024 viewing. Today is Saturday, 27 July 2024, and I just finished viewing City of God. I am Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. I'm Tanis Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. And this is a biographical film, Brazilian film, Portuguese language with title as Cidade de Deus, something like that. It's in Portuguese with English subtitles. It's about a young man documenting the gangs of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, through photography. It's going to be kind of his, so I'd say that description comes from watching it all the way through. And that might not necessarily be obvious from the beginning of the movie that that's what it's about, but that's kind of what it comes to be about and is kind of the takeaway for me. And back closer to when I watched this when it came out, that was kind of the takeaway then, is right how this guy becomes a photographer in a story to becoming a photographer. But it is based on a real person and a true story and stuff like that. So in that sense, it's biographical. But the kind of takeaway was documenting gangs through photography. And in watching this, it was kind of an interesting one to return to. Because there's this scene in this movie. And it's kind of an interesting one to be sitting where I am with the experience that I have under my belt today. Saturday, 27 July 2024. And to think about, there was this scene in this movie, and I started photographing things. I've kind of talked about being a self-initiated photographer, and that started back in the 1990s, right before this movie was even made. And I was born approximately 1993. 80, not BC. Okay. And it's a scene where this guy, he takes some pictures of some gang members, and he works at this newspaper, and they develop his film without his permission or without his consent, right? And so they're pictures of this gang, and then they print it on the front page of the newspaper. And so, right, these are people like his community, right? So it cut him off from his life support, so to speak, and it was done without his permission, without his consent. And then, so he can't go back, right? Because he didn't even know they were going to be developed. And so they have him spend the night with one of the female staff workers who takes sexual advantage of him. Or if you want to frame it consensually, they have sexual relations after they violated his consent by publishing these pictures. And I remember being so horrified by that scene when I saw this movie that I was like, you know what? Maybe someday there'll be a place where we can put pictures online for free so that doesn't happen. But now that I've done that, I wonder, and now that I've had a picture that I posted online for free of Leon Marchand, and this did actually come into mind in doing that. I was like, what if I took a picture of my soulmate? Okay, and what if I put it online? And what if somebody printed that? And that picture I put online of Leon Marchand has been published in a number of big places like the Agency Free French Press or the AFP. Their YouTube channel has over 1 million subscribers, right? That was the people who ran the story with my picture in it, right, back in 2023 that I mentioned, right? And it's been in other publications as well. But, right, so I'm watching this and I'm like, well, it's not the front page of the newspaper. Yes, it has been published in France. And it has been published by, at least at this point in time, I think having over 1 million subscribers on a YouTube channel is pretty good, right? Like that kind of, especially for a news agency, right? And a non-American news agency, right? So I'm sitting here and I was watching and I was like, thinking back to when I watched this closer to when it came out, and I was like, if I take a picture of my soulmate and that happens, does that mean I get to have sex with my soulmate? And so now that, the pictures out there, does that mean Leon Marchand gets sexual access to me? Come get me! Come get me! Come get me! So happy Parisian games, Mr. Frenchman Leon Marchand. The timeliness of me watching this movie and how things played out from this little girlie's perspective couldn't have worked out better. I'm gonna cry. No, but yeah, so I love you too, my French boo, and I'm so happy that it didn't go like this movie went. So there we go. Those are my movie notes on City of God, a 2002 film, 27 July 2024 viewing.